You're watching TVC Breakfast. As the world marks Environment Day, it is another opportunity to call attention to the impact of human activities on Mother Nature. Now, Bosede Omoyi has a report on this.
The environment, nature's gift to humanity. From the gentle whispers of the waters to the life within its banks, to the high-rising mountains serving as protective shields, and to the thick forest housing some of the world's beautiful but now almost extinct creatures, nature is beautiful.
Whether for relaxation, meditation, or transaction, the ocean front is one of the places to be. But how well do we take care of this work of nature to keep it scenery, make it habitable, and generate more revenue from it?
There are better ways like proper maintenance, cleaning the oceans regularly, the environment. Those who do businesses around these areas can, once in a while, not even once in a while, make it a habit, make it a duty, like a responsibility to clean the oceans all the time.
Some people channel sock away inside this kind of water, and it's making it more dirty. It's not okay for the health.
Nature's aquatic splendor has the capability of serving different interwoven purposes, means of transportation, tourist attraction, and home to marine life, among others. With about 3,000 navigable waterways, Nigeria has the potential of generating billions of naira in returns. However, there are factors limiting this goal, including human activities in and around the waterways.
These are plastic materials, some of the over 300 million produced annually. More often than not, they end up in water. If this trend continues, we'll have more plastic in water than fish by the year 2050.
All right, joining me on Skype now is an environmentalist, DESMOND, MAJEKODUNMI. It's good to have you join me right now. I can see you have a mask covering your nose. Can you talk to me about that? Why is the mask on?
Well, the reason I'm wearing this mask is because today is World Environment Day. And the theme for today is beat air pollution, okay? And the reason why they're advertising and advocating for beating air pollution, because air pollution globally kills about 7 million people every year. And this is actually symbolic. Luckily, I'm in a location by the sea where there's very little air pollution, so I can afford to take the mask off. It's not very comfortable. And to be honest, it's very, very sad that in several cities around the world, people are actually required to wear face masks because the level of pollution is so high. Now, we, Nigeria, as the giant of Africa, can be very, very acclaimed that we have the position of number 4 in terms of mortality rate from air pollution. That is, more people die from air pollution in our great country, Nigeria, than any other country in the world apart from China, Afghanistan, and India. Yes, number 4, air pollution. It takes out hundreds of thousands of people on a monthly basis. And we gotta beat it. We really, really gotta beat it. So that's why I'm wearing the mask. And believe you me, you know, in most parts of Lagos, if you don't wear this mask, you're gonna get contaminated. And it's really, really a huge problem.
Yeah, Desmond is really good for you, the way you pictorially draw our attention to these realities. But one thing in our society is the call for industrialization, the call for more economic activities, for job creation and all of these activities that should make an average life prosperous and good to live. But these are still the issues that, you know, have negative impact on the environment. The issues of carbon monoxide from industries and waste and all of that, gas flaring and so on. How do we reconcile these against the issue of development or growth?
Yes, well, we have to use the terminology development effectively. You can't call it development if in the process of that so-called development, you're actually destroying your very life support systems, okay? And what has happened in the West was that they made terrible mistakes from way back. This whole process has gone on for about 200 years. They started the Industrial Revolution. It was driven by coal. They realized that coal was toxic. They used other fossil fuel. They realized that those fossil fuels were toxic, but those fossil fuels had become so entrenched in the economic system that it was becoming very difficult for them to transit. We have the great fortune of leapfrogging. We are blessed, just like we leapfrog from the landline to the GSM, right? We didn't, how many people had landlines? Millions of people have GSMs. We have to leapfrog the dirty technology. There's no way that you can justify a technology that will be responsible for the death of hundreds of thousands of your citizens. I can ask you, and I can ask your viewers and your listeners, would you sit in a room with a generator running with your children? No, of course not, because you don't want to commit suicide. So it's not development if we're going to be destroying our very life support systems, if we're going to be killing our citizens, especially the young children.
All right, on a day like this, how should today be commemorated across the world?
Oh, yes. Well, the best way to commemorate this day is just for people to take cognizance of the fact that we are put here to care for this creation, not to destroy it. One of the immediate solutions for the air pollution is greenery. You know, plant a whole bunch of trees, have a whole bunch of green, because God in his infinite wisdom and mercy has created the perfect system whereby the green leaves will recycle a whole lot of the pollution. So, you know, it's actually justifiable to create a state of emergency on tree planting and regreening our cities, regreening our rural areas, protecting the forests that are there. We're going to just celebrate it by creating awareness and admonishing people that, you know, this earth is the only planet that we can call home. And it's not just our home, it's our children's home. And we need to ask ourselves, you know, what right do we have to destroy the only home that our children have? And I do believe that the love that we have for our children will engender that change of mentality, that we will start caring more for the creation. And as I said, the immediate thing, plant trees, shrubs, bushes. The more green we can plant, the better. And then start to transit away from this poisonous and deadly technology. That's what we're advocating for. And hopefully, I won't need to be wearing this mask.
Thank you very much, Desmond, for giving us insight into all of that right now. It's really needed. He has said that the more greens we have, the better off we are.
Yes, and the work starts from our mindsets, changing our mindset towards our environment, because like he said, this is the only place we have to live, and our children as well. So if we love our children, we look at how to protect the earth.
So it's not just for the now, but also for the generation coming. Moving on now, as the world marks Environment Day, it is another opportunity to call attention to the impact of human activities on Mother Nature.
Ambassador Deomori has a report on this.
The environment, nature's gift to humanity. From the gentle whispers of the waters, to the life within its banks, to the high-rising mountains serving as protective shields, and to the thick forest housing some of the world's beautiful but now almost extinct creatures, nature is beautiful.
Whether for relaxation, meditation, or transaction, the ocean front is one of the places to be. But how well do we take care of this work of nature to keep it scenery, make it habitable, and generate more revenue from it?
There are better ways, like proper maintenance, cleaning the oceans regularly, the environment. Those who do businesses around these areas can, once in a while, not even once in a while, make it a habit, make it a duty, like a responsibility to clean the oceans all the time.
Some people channel sock away inside this kind of water, and it's making it more dirty. It's not okay for the health.
Well, joining me in the studio is team lead ECOPRO, Maleek Shehu. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Today is World Environment Day, and although we are commemorating, or the focus is on air pollution, another aspect that is of much concern to you environmentalists is the aspect of waters, how we care for the oceans and the waters.
Yes, thank
how
you very
important
much.
is that?
It's as important as food. Yes, because currently the ocean has been left unattended, and we are all throwing all sorts of garbages into the ocean. The streams, the rivers, the lagoons, and even the creeks. So all of these things are interconnected. When we keep throwing plastic bottles or non-biodegradable elements into the water, definitely after a while, they become more than even the fishes in the water, because they don't They don't degrade. They're going to be there for hundreds of years. And at the end of the day, the cycle is going to bring it back to human being. Then you have these things in the system. So we need to take care of our waterways.
So where do we begin when you talk about taking care of our waterways? Because some persons find it easy to dump things, perhaps are dumping our culture, the way we dump refuse.
Basically, it's all about sensitizing the people, and at the same time, while we sanitize the waterways, you need to let the people know the damages that can result from constant pollution of the waterways. If you generate, as a human being, you generate no less than 1.2 kg of waste daily. You need to know these things have to be disposed properly. When you throw them into the waterways, or when you just dispose them anyhow, along with other forms of wastes, now, if they, for whatever reason, get into the waterways, they don't dissolve in the water. They remain there. Even the aquatic lives, they are not safe from these things, because some of them get to eat these things thinking they are food. Now, it remains in their body. It even kills them. And those that have it digested, or not, it cannot even digest in their system, we have it back into our system somehow. But basically, for us to take care of our environment, we all have to start telling ourselves what to do. Do not litter our waterways with plastic bottles, plastic bags. Don't throw
This
tires.
message has been on and on and on for a long time, but it doesn't seem like it is sinking in well enough. Do people really understand the dangers attached to this? And then how much effort, because we saw in that video where your association tried to, clean the waters of some refuse. How much effort are you guys putting into this?
Every day in Lagos, we generate no less than, that's collectively, minimum of 12,000 metric tons of waste. Now, the effort we put towards cleaning these things up is very minimal. It's just a few organizations that are trying to, do their best. Yes, you have the Lagos people, the Waterways Authority, and you have the Nigerian Inland Waterways Authority doing what they have to do. But I am telling you that on a daily basis, the generated amount of waste into the water is very high. So we need to make a concerted effort addressing this situation.
So are you saying we are still far from the goal, the 2030 goal?
Very far.
Wow.
Very far. I can actually say we have not really started. I'm sorry. Because the more we try to clean, we do a lot of cleaning voluntarily. The more we try to clean, it's like you're taking it away, people are dropping it back into the water. So above all of these things, we need enforcement from the government, knowing that, okay, if I have tried to do this, if anyone tries to put this thing back into the water, there are penalties or fines attached to this thing, punishment attached to this thing. Otherwise, it's just going to be a vicious circle. While I take it out, you put it back in. So at some point, I'll be tired, and you keep doing it. So disaster is just abound.
All right, Maleek Shehu, we have to leave it at this point, but thank you so much for coming on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you.